Now, do you know who Betty is? Betty's this little old woman out in San Bernardino, Purdue, it's called in the outlaw culture, who handmade the patches.
Wow.
So we go out to Betty's. Betty's this old religious woman, and strict orders we get there. No smoking and no cussing. Betty's going to put my patch on my Levi, and she's in there sewing it, and I'm just like, not only am I Hell's Angel now, but Betty's sewing my patch on that she made on my Levi vest. Wow. And
she does all the patches.
She did all the,
well,
not
California.
Anymore. Back then, she's probably not even alive anymore. But she did all the patches, and you couldn't get a patch. There was one specific person that could order the patches for everybody, and if anybody else tried, it was bullshit. But those are the rules. So we get the patch, and I try it on, man. And you can imagine how I'm feeling, John. And I look at Betty, and she says, and remember, no hot rodding until you reach the end of the street. And so we jumped on our bikes, man. And, that was the fastest trip from San Bernardino to L.A. We went back to the Glendale Clubhouse. I partied for a few days. And shortly after that, it was New Year's. It was December 26th. We rode to Oakland. And I went up there, and my old longtime friend Animal, Paul Hibbets, who was an Oakland Hells Angel now, and if you've ever seen Gimme Shelter, he's the guy with the headdress, fox headdress on.
At Altamont?
Yeah, and he's the guy that knocked out Marty Ballin, the singer.
From what's that? From
Jefferson
Airplane.
Yeah.
And you see the guy who stabbed the guy up at Altamont?
That's Alan Pizarro, stabbed Meredith Hunter. But Meredith, I'm actually working with these people, these two young girls in the Bay Area their families are connected to Altamont somehow through the bands. They want to do a thing, and if it gets off the ground, those are somebody you might want to talk to. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people don't realize that Alan stabbed Meredith after Meredith pointed the gun at the stage. Now,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that there was a gun.
Oh, yeah, he pointed the gun at the stage.
And they were specifically hired. You guys were specifically hired to do security for Rolling Stones?
Yeah, but Rock Scully, the Grateful Dead manager, who I was good friends with, it just turned into just a mess. Like the Grateful Dead came there, they saw what was happening. Jerry.
I've seen that interview. Jerry's like, man, there's like people getting stabbed out there, man.
Yeah, Jerry,
All right, you want to go play?
Yeah, like Jerry, like he's in our movie Hell's Angels Forever. He goes, these guys, they're violent in all the correct spaces. I don't know. He said something to that effect. But Jerry was the coolest dude.
So you hung out with those guys?
Yeah, they were good friends of mine. Yeah, Rock Scully used to call me, and he'd say, "Hey, Jerry's flying in. He don't trust anybody but you. Would you pick him up personally?" I'd go down there and pick him up at the airport. Now this is in the '70s. Jerry's getting off the plane with a briefcase full of dope.
Yeah.
And, there's no guards. He gets down off the plane and then, comes out and, I go, "What's up, Garcia?" He goes, "Oh, man, get me out of here. There's deadheads everywhere." And he's telling me, I said, "Look, I got a car. You just have to know Jerry." I knew he had to call me.
So you go pick up Jerry Garcia at the airport.
Yeah.
Are you in your colors?
I got my colors on, yeah.
And you go pick him up?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's party time, man.
Yeah.
And so I go, "I got a nice car for you. I got a Cadillac out here." And he goes, "Okay, cool, man." He goes, "Just get me to the car, George." He goes, "There are deadheads everywhere. There were, the dead would follow him around."
Yeah.
And so we get in the car, and he's going, "Oh, God damn it, man." He goes, "Don't make eye contact, George. Don't make eye contact." And so we get going, and he goes, "You got to pull into a 7-Eleven. Remember 7-Elevens?"
Sure, yeah.
He goes, "You got to pull into a 7-Eleven." He goes, we got to spray paint the windows black." I go, "Jerry, you can't spray paint the windows." I go, "This is a rent-a-car, man." I go, "You're with me, man." I go, "Relax. Everything's cool, And he goes, "Oh, man, I'm not feeling cool." And I go, "Do you want to change cars?" He goes, "Yeah." So we go to my house up in Oakview, and I got this long driveway.
Up in Oakview here?
Yeah, up here in Oakview. So I got this long driveway. So
Jerry Garcia was here?
Yeah, at my pad.
Shit.
So we pulled down in the back.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, I don't know, man. He says, okay, I feel better. And I go, come here, let me show you something. So I have a van that was the support vehicle for the Hells Angels. It's got a big motor in it, but it's really plain looking. But inside, it's like a motel room, for the kids and the wife. So he gets in there and he goes, oh, man. Now, you remember the big old phones this was a house phone, but it was a big block phone that AT&T had. You could go outside with it if you didn't go too far.
Yeah.
So he goes, can you get Scully on the phone? Rock Scully, the manager. And I go, yeah. So I get Scully on the phone. I go, hey, Scully, it's yours. And he goes, everything okay? And I go, yeah, Jerry wants to talk to you, man. So I hand Jerry the phone. He goes, Scully. He goes, I've been down here 1 hour. George has given me everything I need. You're fucking fired. And then, of course, he was joking, And so that's the kind of relationship I had with those guys. They would send me tickets, like to fly to a concert, to come and see him. I hadn't seen him for a while. I also promoted Jerry Garcia. I was the first person to promote the Jerry Garcia band.
Wow.
In Southern California.
Wow.
And me and Bill Graham finally wound up co-promoting him.
There's this relationship between I remember, I know Willie Nelson a little bit, and I remember, when I was just the biggest fan, and I'd go up to San Francisco. My wife was a travel nurse up there, and we when she was my girlfriend, she broke up with me because I was a real piece of shit, before that.
Before you got straightened out.
Exactly. And man, it was awful. She was a nurse up there, and she had a boyfriend, and oh my God. But I would go up there all the time, like leave flowers on her car and like draw these little stupid pictures and poems and shit.
The romantic side.
Yeah, man. And she wouldn't even talk to me. It was awful. But I got these tickets through this agent to Willie Nelson, and we got backstage, and I like rolled Willie this giant joint, and I wrote him this letter. I'm trying to get this lady back so bad, and but I remember like we this guy invited us over to the bus, but it was all Hell's Angels. Like the whole front row was, and this was 2017. It was all Hell's Angels, and then there was this. One Hell's Angel with like long white hair, and he
LG.
was like, LG. That's right. Yeah. That's right. But like talk a little bit about that, about the relationship between the
I'll tell you a great Willie Nelson story. This is back in the 70s, maybe early 80s, and probably about 15 of us show up at the Universal. I think it's an amphitheater.
Okay.
It's either that or the Greek Theater. I think it was a Universal amphitheater.
Okay.
And so the security guy, I go there and I go, yeah, we're here for the show, and he goes, name, and well, we never gave names. Our backstage pass was our patch, basically.
That's right.
And I said, well, we're not on the list, man. I go, we're here, though. And he goes, well, I'm not letting you in. I go, what do you mean you're not letting us in? I go, we go to all Willie's shows. I go, LG's security. I go, come on, man. And I go, okay, no problem. And just about that time, Willie walks up, and he goes, what's the problem? I go, he won't let us in. He goes, well, fuck it, man. We won't do the show. And he turns around, and we all turn around with him and start walking back. And the guy goes, no, Mr. Nelson, my mistake. And, that's the kind of guy Willie was. And, Waylon was that way, Willie, Johnny Paycheck. I locked Johnny Paycheck in a room one time. He was so fucked up. I had to sober him up before he went and performed. And he was so mad at me. And he gets to the show, and he thinks he's going on that night. And he goes, oh, George, it's good to see you, brother. And he's all this shit. And, he's going like, where's the shit? And I go, there ain't no shit. Yeah. And he goes, what do you mean? And I go, you got to sober up, man. You got to put a hell of a show on for Toys for Tots. Yeah. You got to do the show Saturday. He goes, Saturday? It's only Thursday. He goes, what am I supposed to do in the meantime? I said, sober up. And so I locked him in a room. I left. He's yelling at me. I left 2 Hells Angels in there with him, big old Hells Angels. And so he went on the show, did the show Saturday, thanked me. You didn't say thank you for locking me in
And you're
the
doing
room.
that because you want the show to go, or you're
doing it for the show, for the kids,
for the
man.
kids,
Toys for Tots. People in Santa Barbara were counting on him at the Arlington Theater.
Yep.
So he, after that, every time I'd see him, he'd go, you son of a bitch, you gonna lock me in a room? I go, I might, Johnny. I go, behave yourself. So, and we had relationships, Waylon, Willie, just, Chris Christopherson, I met Johnny Cash, man, through Willie, and only time I was ever lost for words, John. I mean, there was the man in black, you know, and I